Madden Ultimate Team matchup as you get a peek at some of the big players in today's game, and you're a big player in today's game as well. Let's get the party started. And wow, a gamble here right off the bat, an onside kick to begin the game. And the Jaguars are going to cover this one up. Now, they tried to give this home crowd something to cheer about early, but it failed. I don't know. Maybe you try that on the road to get some momentum. What about here at home?
Would agree with you totally on that. I think at home, you don't ever want to put your fans in a position where they're questioning what you're doing. And right now, they have to be in the stand saying, why would we even do that? We're already behind you. You don't need us anymore. And this one, boy, an unsuccessful attempt. That could really change the momentum of this game in a hurry.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Now, that's the type of play that'll fire up the defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Newton. Going for the deep ball. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Their dangerous wide receiver, 45 yards. And the Jags have taken the early lead. And the defensive there, that was a battle. He just made a really nice play.
A really nice play, making sure his body position was correct. And how about the throw? Zipped it in there.
And it results in the touchdown. Here's the Jaguar kick team now as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Time running out here on the play clock. And with the play clock running out, Jack Del Rio is going to take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Carry, here's Marshawn Lynch. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more.
A 1-yard gain could look like a disaster, but all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the all-pro corner, Josh Norman. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Now Tomlinson on 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
There's so many times during camp and practice that you get bored as a player doing regular drills. But how about that shed and skate drill right there by the linebacker? You do it each and every day. Get the blocker away and get into the backfield and make a big-time tackle. That's what we just saw.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
3rd and long. It's Newton. He's got time in the pocket. And Hill with it over the middle. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is going to kick out of bounds. Boy, a fortunate bounce or two there. They'll keep possession back inside the 10-yard line. They come out here in the I. 1st down and goal to go from the 7. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. LaDainian Tomlinson taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They go back to the air here after the INT. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. They'll get 19 yards there. And the Saints are going to get a 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target. That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. Back to the air, Newton on 2nd down. This is caught by Antonio Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch, too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it. When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
In the red zone this time. They'll come up now in the Wildcat package. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And that formation won't yield much here as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain, and it's second down.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window. They've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
Right side catch, Gilmore. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Throwing on third down, Newton. To the left side here for Eifert. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
They'll run with Marshawn Lynch. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Marshawn Lynch, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Saints are back within a score. And he knocks it through. Now Janikowski following the score. He'll boot this one away. Tyreek Hill on the return. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive.
Yes, that's today's NFL defensive tackle. Not just a space eater anymore. A guy with agility, movement skills, who can rush the passer and make plays in the offensive backfield.
After the run, Newton going to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. Third down here.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. This is taken at the 15. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Now a first down throw for Newton. Over the middle, it's Thomas. A gain of 6 there on first. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter. To throw on second down is Newton. They dump it off to Lynch. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part.
And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Newton takes it himself. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
One receiver to the left is Evans. On 2nd down, here's Newton. Complete to Gilmore over the middle. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it, it seems almost effortless.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Now this time he'll look to throw. Pryor has it complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 11 yards for number 11.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. They'll need to get the play off quickly. They come out here in the eye. A first down carry by Elliott. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough, tough job to contain them.
Here's Newton now on 2nd down. They set up the screen to Lynch. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. My good friend Charles and I right back at you after this. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Their big-bodied receiver. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And it's up and good. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Jags. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Newton on first down. Drops this off to Tomlinson, complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll go as a gain of 12. And it'll give the Jags a first down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
But I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
A shotgun snap for Newton. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Aqib Talib. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he'll be down deep into Jacksonville territory.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
They come out here in the eye. Here's a give to Lynch. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
On offense, the guy that you want to have the best eyes on the field are your quarterbacks, so you can see everything pre-snap, and then, of course, as the play develops. On defense, oftentimes it's the linebacker. And on this play, his eyes took him right to the ball, and he made a nice tackle.
Now Newton. This will be caught at about the 6. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Janikowski bangs it through. All right, hang on here. We'll jump over halftime. Just let the system and graphics catch up. Okay, all set. Third quarter now. And they take a 17-14 lead. And he is out of bounds as they'll start up past the 30. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
To throw on second down is Newton. Man open left side is Brown. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Second down following the run. They come out here in the eye. They'll run again with Lynch. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face a third down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
So second down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on third. Newton on third down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Jack Del Rio going to take a chance here. His guy's going for it on fourth. On fourth down, Newton. And he checks this one down to LT out of the backfield. It's a gain of 5, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on fourth down.
Well, it all came together on that one, didn't it?
Big-time throw on fourth.
Now, that had to feel good, didn't it? Taking that type of a gamble there and making it pay off. What a throw.
And tough as a receiver because no matter how perfect the pass, you know it's fourth down and you got to convert.
A little bit of extra pressure, but he overcame it.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The play clock's running down. And a short gain down to about the 33. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. After the run, Newton going to throw. Well, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he couldn't come up with that INT. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. On the handoff, Lynch. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. They come out here in the eye. On 2nd down, Elliott. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Well, on that play, the expression, don't blink, you might miss something, certainly applied. That was fast. Defense diagnosed the play, and it was over in a heartbeat.
A long drive here. Play 12 coming up for the offense. Play clock winding down. A carry now for Lynch. And he is going to lose yardage here. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Welcome back live to Orlando. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. And the 38-year-old vet able to split the uprights. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much different game.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Joey Bosa in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
They'll come out in the pistol. They'll fake the handoff. Now Newton. Blitz coming, and down he goes. A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. So the D-line's going to spread out. Back to throw, Newton. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the fourth quarter, and they got a big one.
And such a close game, a very big one. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Good, solid, strong run that not only gets them a nice chunk of yardage, but takes the clock under 4 minutes. And now they're going to play situational football. How many timeouts does the opposition have left? How many runs do they need to call to make sure they bleed out those timeouts? But even more importantly, mentally right now, they hold the advantage. They probably have them at the verge of breaking. And what they want to do is finish them off.
7 yards to go on second down. Time running out here on the play clock. Now this time he'll look to throw. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. 14 yards that time for number 14. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Now Lynch. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
And he's going to be met at about the 43. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. It's 3rd and 7. Newton. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. And they're behind the sticks here a bit now, dealing with a 2nd and 12. He's back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. 2 timeouts remaining defensively, but that shouldn't make much difference right here.
It really shouldn't, but a lot of coaches look at it similar to baseball with the intentional walk.
Always bringing in other sports.
Always, listen, think about the intentional walk, right? What if one gets past the catcher? What if he uncorks a wild one and now you still have an opportunity? That's why they like to use them all the way through.
They come out here in the eye.
Come on now, let's go. I said 3, 20. Check. Come on now.
This is Lynch. And he is going to be stopped here at the line of scrimmage. And time is going to expire in this football.
Tonight we ain't going out, so we invited everybody